channel. We are SOTTB. I'm Chevy.
I'm Des, and we are back with our episode 3 review of season 9 of Married to Medicine.
Ew, the juice has begun.
It's getting juicy, guys. Finally we're getting to the nitty gritty. I don't know.
Finally.
Is this nitty gritty? Nitty gritty?
Is it?
Nitty gritty? I don't know. But that's what nitty gritty is what it feels like.
Alright. I mean, I'm just glad. The first 2 episodes were okay, but this is the episode.
Right, we really start to get into it. So, where did we start off?
So, basically it starts with Simone and Quad having a lunch. Basically, Quad's talking about how her nephew runs her now, how she's never had a man run her before. Whatever. She's finally she's finally on time for a lunch.
Simone made sure to point that out because, you know, Quad be always late.
Always late. Always.
But, you know what that is? Growth. Elevation. So, glad to see it. But, you know, it's not important.
It really isn't.
Because it's not the reason we're all here.
Because even after that, Simone, she, like, talks about how Miles has his new girlfriend. They're so in love. Andrea, blase, blah. Great. It was a cute lunch. Anyway. So, Contessa then goes over to Toya's house. And, you know, she talks about how Toya's life is, you know, all about self-care. You know, she bought herself flowers. You know, she's going to Dubai first class with her butler. And how she wished that, you know, her life could be that way. And honestly, I would be doing that too if I was Toya. So,
what?
I kind of felt like Contessa's confessional was kind of shady.
Right? I feel like Contessa constantly does this because she's been talking about Toya for a season, and it's shocking that they became friends again. But I really feel like it's the enemy of my enemy is my friend, so they're both teaming up against Heavenly because Contessa does not like Toya, and I don't even think Toya likes Contessa. It's just a mutually beneficial relationship at the moment. If they can get Heavenly together, then it works out because Contessa has said so many, like, unforgivable things. I'm like, there's no way you guys are really friends.
You want to refresh us on what she said?
Yes, she said Toya and Eugene live like refugees. She called Eugene a bitch. A big bitch. She made fun of that party that they threw after they paid off, like, all their taxes, saying, oh, now we celebrating paying our bills. Like, you can tell, like, they do not see it for each other. So it's just, the whole thing is a little comedic, but I mean, we gonna go with it because I don't really like Heavenly or Contessa. So I'm trying to see someone get read or
basically
gathered.
I mean, I just feel like Toya's not the one to be getting read. Like, she's just living her life and just doing her. Like, I would be doing that.
Right? Isn't that funny, though? Because I feel like right now, like, the whole, not the narrative, but, like, the dream is for people to find a man that's going to take care of them. Like, I'm going to spend his money, not mine, type of thing. Like, that's the goal. But they always make it sound like Toya is doing something, like, outlandish.
Like she's lazy.
Right? Or working Eugene into the ground. I'm like, did we not see Curtis literally for seasons saying how Dr. Jackie worked so much? And you could tell it's not because Dr. Jackie was poor. It was because she likes what she does. I feel like a lot of doctors are workaholics. Like, yeah. So I don't think it's weird. And even the way he says it and the way they were talking about, like later in the episode, it sounds like he wants to explore other things in his career. It's not that he has to for them to, like, be able to survive. And plus, Toya's making, like, over $500,000 per season because she's been on the show for 9 seasons.
I think they're okay.
Right? One more thing. Literally, Bravo has franchises of the Real Housewives. She is on Married to Medicine. She's married to medicine. What is the
I'm not seeing the problem.
I wonder how many followers she has on Instagram. Is it more than 80K? Anyway, sorry.
That was some nice shade.
I thought that was... Yeah.
It was. Okay, well, anyways, so basically, after she says her little comments or whatever, she sits with Toya and she's just like, so, we're gonna have to talk to Heavenly.
Gotta get her together.
And Toya's just like, let's do it. Yes.
I'm in.
Yes, let's do it. So then they like call Simone. Simone asks no questions whatsoever. She's just like, yes, we need to talk to Heavenly. How are we gonna do this? And Contessa's like, yeah, actually, this isn't gonna be a talk. This is gonna be an intervention. And I was just like, whoa.
It's gonna be some shit.
No. Hold on. Wait. Because we all know how Heavenly is, and we know that she can't take what she dishes, and so I'm kind of like, I don't see this going well, but it's brilliant for TV.
Well, either. I was entertained.
Brilliant for TV. So
when I saw that, I'm like, this is a bad idea. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I am as well. So, I guess after that, they decide that they're going to invite everybody over for a movie night. But, you know, they're not going to tell them that it's an actual intervention, whatever. Which I also feel like, yes,
messy.
I don't want anybody to tell Heavenly what's going to happen. But also, maybe they should be able to prepare themselves as well. Because Heavenly has also been talking shit about them, too. I don't know.
Right? But I feel like Quad would have definitely told her. So
yeah, she probably
Quad got her back on the show. So I understand why they did it. It was just very messy. But I'm here for mess and chaos.
That's
the
only reason I watched the show.
Exactly.
For mess. All right. So then, so they're all on board for this movie night, whatever. So we're gonna save the rest of that for a little bit after. So stay tuned, I guess. So now we're going to be talking about how Geeka, I guess, is the nanny for Anila.
Or Miss Gomez.
Yes, is leaving to go be with her family. It sounds so outlandish.
Right? As if she's doing something to Anila.
And Anila's sad, upset. Oh my god, what am I going to do? And it's like...
Did we not find it messed up? They decided to tell the kids on the last day. Miss Goma was like, yeah, I'm leaving and I'm never coming back. It was like Ayanla. You're never gonna get it.
And it's like, oh, like the kids were probably so sad, crying, blah, 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 and whatever. Honestly, like, yes, I think it's sad, but it's also like she has a family too, like... You know, she's been with you guys for years and years, not seeing her own family. That's rough.
Raising Anila's children, basically.
That's rough. Like,
making those pinto beans.
Oh my god! Clearly, there were some good ass beans.
Chef's
He's just like, well, what about my pinto beans? I'll be like, oh shit, can Anila cook? Like, I don't know.
That's not what it's giving.
Yeah,
she doesn't give that she knows her way around the kitchen.
She's like, I can try. I'm like, that's not what you say right now.
You say yes. You ask that lady for that recipe and you say yes.
Right?
You should have watched her make it. Like, what do you mean?
No, she was too busy blogging, so, you know, is what it is. This is the storyline right now.
She's gonna raise her children. And from the looks of the preview, she's gonna struggle a bit. I can't wait. Because Anila she gives me fake, fraudulent, and phony too.
Oh no.
But we'll get into that next week.
I mean, I kind of, what do you mean?
I just feel like, okay, I know her and Toya got into it and had issues. Mm-hmm. But I also felt like, okay, you're dragging it, girl. But I also realized that Toya did not make it easy last season. She was going through some stuff. She was talking to people real crazy.
Yeah.
But it's very wild to me how Anila was able to flip-flop. And then she even kind of gets caught in it when they're in the intervention. But again, we will get there.
We will get there because I'm ready to talk about that. I am so
right.
ready to talk about that. Okay. So then, I guess fast forward after that. Toya and Eugene are talking about how stressful it is because, you know, he's in the ER and, you know, he's just always working, and Toya's been finding ways to make herself happy because her man's not home, and then he's talking about how he needs an outlet, And I don't really know what they're gonna do, I guess, because it seems like this is probably like one of the only issues that we're really seeing with them on the show. Like, I don't really see them like argue that much or anything. I think it's just like they just don't get to spend enough time together. So I guess we'll see throughout the season if something happens with that. But I mean, otherwise it was just a small little segment. They're both distressed and need an outlet.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then, next, we have Simone and Cecil are about to write their book. So they meet up with their new friend, Omarosa.
Oh, yeah, they're old friends.
Oh, old friends, sorry.
Yeah.
Omarosa. I think I'm saying that right. I hope.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she has $1 million book deal, and she got one of the bestseller books, blah, blah, blah. And also, she worked with Trump. I don't know.
Yeah, it was interesting to see, like, Simone say that, you know, she doesn't cut people off because of their political affiliations.
Which is...
and whatnot.
I agree with that. I feel like I can be friends with people that have different political views than me. Like, as long as they're not saying, kill black people. Like, you know, like...
I think it definitely is... it's a gray area, because I feel like there's a difference between believing, hey, you know, we need to put more money into education versus, you know, we need to put more money into environmental, versus having like very distinctive views that it's like are going against my basic human rights. So I can definitely understand why people would cut people off for their political affiliation, but I think it really depends on where, like, how big is the difference? Where is the divide exactly? Like, I can understand not being friends with someone who's a Trump supporter, especially in a country where you can actually vote for him. Like, that is scary to me. If you're working under the Trump administration, that is scary for me. But it was surprising because I didn't expect that from Simone, because she's a very vocal person. So I would have thought like that was a hill she would die on. But I don't know her life like that.
Well, everybody has the way that they deal with stuff, I guess. I mean, whatever, to each their own. Let me see, where is he? Yeah, so they're already fighting about the book that they're writing. Interesting.
I'm so tired of hearing about the book. Just put it out. Like, I get it. They're probably trying to promote the book so that by the time the season's out, it's probably going to come out if it's not out already. But I'm also like, yes, we get it. Yeah. Maybe just because we've heard their marriage story so many times and seen it play out. It's like, what is this book going to... Like, I'm sure the book will tell me stuff I don't know, but I feel like we saw the important highlights, so you've mentioned them.
I think we know everything at this point. Like, they've been on for the entirety of Married to Medicine, so it's kind of like... You know? But whatever, sure. I mean, they could talk about their 25 years of marriage, and they both came from divorced families, and they still made it work, and la la la. Ray.
What?
Great.
Let's get to the fun stuff!
Moving along. So now... Contessa tells everybody that it's a movie night, obviously except for our Toya and Simone. Contessa's messy, wearing one of Heavenly's wigs. A very bad one.
She's like, I'm channeling Storm. I'm like, wasn't that just their white?
That looked like
a lilac?
A pink Barbie. I don't know what color that was. I don't know. And there was no part. But anyways, like, she could have at least picked one that had a part to promote the business. I mean, I don't know if she was trying to even promote the business, actually.
The way she notched the wig down...
That's what I'm saying. I don't think she was actually trying to promote the business. So maybe that's why she picked the one with no part. So then, let me see. Yeah, everybody had to put their phone in the bucket at the start of the... Like, once upon entering. Quad wasn't trying to do it.
I thought that was so funny. Toya's like, either you put your phone in the bucket or you leave. And Quad's like, I'm gonna leave. And she's like, okay, bye. Toya don't like her. And then Jackie tried it. She was like, what makes you so special? She's like, well, I'm a doctor. It's like, yes, we know, Jackie. You get it. You're coming to the home of a doctor. Simone's a doctor. Heavenly's a doctor. We get it.
You say it every day, every episode.
Right? How can we forget?
4 times.
How
and
can
I feel
we
like
forget?
in every single confessional Jackie has, it's about like a medical thing. She'd be like, you know, the placenta is this. Like, she's not really, you know, I don't know. She doesn't really give much drama. It's just...
She's very boring. I feel like she glides by with like not having much to do because they love her. Like, you could tell production loves her and Bravo really likes her. But yeah, I'm only seeing it for Dr. Jackie. I think she's an amazing doctor, but on the show I can't stand her.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
Both Quad and Jackie didn't want to put their phone in the bucket. Obviously, they said...
Simone had to go get them.
Yeah, Toya was clearly the wrong door person. Whatever. Anila puts her phone in the bucket, but thinks it's weird. La, whatever. So, let me see. Yes. So, I guess they get to the part where they all go downstairs. Heavenly's not there yet. And then Contessa's like, okay, guys, so the reason why we're here... This is the intervention for Heavenly's YouTube channel. Woo! And everyone's like...
Quad's like, oh, hell nah. Like, you guys are trifling and low down. I'm just like, shut up. This is some shit that you would do, Quad. Like, be quiet.
That, but also are we forgetting how low down Heavenly is on the channel?
She absolutely is. She was like, y'all are low down until she saw what Heavenly said. And she was like...
We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. Don't worry. We're coming. So, yeah, Toya's just like, how are we low down for this? And then she's just like, oh, I don't think anybody wants to be ambushed. But then Toya goes, her YouTube is literally an ambush. Quad had nothing to say. How do you argue that? You can't. So, yeah, Jackie thinks this is a bad idea, but whatever, she's already there. Okay, so now Heavenly gets there, and Heavenly has no idea what's going on. They pour her an alcoholic beverage, because they know what's about to go down.
She's hugging everyone, like, oh, you look so cute, She has no clue.
And everyone's just like, yeah, okay, yeah. They pour her a nice, very strong alcoholic beverage, because they're ready to go. Tessa starts the tape. Here we go.
You want to read out some highlights?
Oh, I wrote almost all of them down, so
Please,
all right.
Enlighten the viewers.
Quad has nothing to do but get ready. It's basically just about who's trying the hardest. She thinks Quad is trying the hardest to look the nicest. You see how this girl looks without makeup. La. I'm like, oh my god. And that's her
Quad
friend.
was like...
I know, Quad's like, whoa, wait a minute. I see how we're having this ambush for these
right?
people.
They were, I feel like they were completely okay with sitting and listening to Heavenly talk about, like, Toya, Simone, Contessa... But they were like, oh, I'm in it too. Oh, okay.
Yup.
Quad went from you pretty low down to, oh, all right.
And we see Quad writing shit down now. She's writing stuff
down.
She
got pen and paper. Mm-hmm. Sorry, carry on.
All right. She said Toya is lazy. And she basically did what she needed to do to get a man to do everything for her.
I'm like, it's not an easy task. Not everybody can get that. Also, why does Damon call Heavenly Buddy?
So awkward.
I still, it's been 8 seasons, and I'm still unsure of why.
It's so awkward. Like, you're calling him...
calls her...
And she's calling him Daddy.
I kind of feel like she does that to annoy him, because... Remember how I said, like, I feel like he be saying some wild stuff behind the cameras? I feel like I remember a while back they said, like, he's kind of misogynistic. So I feel like he likes that side of her, but she plays it up to, like, make him look crazy, to, like, almost embarrass him. And like, oh, you like that at home, right? Okay. How you like it now?
Yikes.
So I kind of feel like that, but I also feel like she loves to overcompensate. Like, I am the perfect wife. I work, I cater to my man, I make sure he's taken care of. None of you can stand near him, none of you can talk to him. That's my man. He's daddy and this and that. I'm just like, girl. I don't know. Heavenly gives a little insecure, but like a little bit of like, I'm mocking my man as well.
I don't even feel like she's a little bit insecure. I feel like she's insecure. Like every time there's even a chick around or him, she's just like, hold on. Who's that standing beside my man? I'm like, how long have you guys been married? Like, calm down. You guys are in a public place. Really? Nobody's coming after Damon in those size 34 jeans. I don't know what men's sizes are, but he just gives like that early 2000 like
the oversized jean with the big belts and, you know, the button-down shirt that, you know, like NBA players used to wear back in the day, kind of like that.
Yep, like, yeah, okay, yeah.
He's still a doctor, but anyway.
Hey, whatever. Okay, so at this point, Heavenly's already, like, laughing really loudly, doesn't really care, she's drinking, sipping, literally having the time of her life, like, in this theater, and everybody else is just like, really? Like, she's...
Right. Do you feel like she was laughing, or do you feel like she was also kind of embarrassed? Like, not y'all brought me over here to blindside me with my own channel. Like, I said, like, I feel like it's, yes,
half
it's
and half.
funny in a way. Yeah, like, yes, it's funny, but it's also like, you guys clearly put together this compilation of all these things I've said, like, on my YouTube channel. Like, I feel like being faced with it, she's kind of trying to be like, oh, y'all ain't gonna get the one up on me. So I'm be laughing.
I can see that. I can definitely see that, because, like, obviously, as soon as it ended, too, she was kind of just like, okay, so this is how you're gonna, like, talk to me after 5 months of not talking, and, you know, I can definitely see that, but I still felt like, you know, the way she was even laughing, too, was kind of like, she sounded just, like, evil.
Maniacal, right?
Yeah, so let's see what else she said. Quad is sleeping with married men. Anila said Quad has fillers.
Right, Anila was like, oh, you put clips of me in there. And Anila's supposed to be Team Quad Heavenly, huh? Okay.
What could she say now? Because I just felt like she didn't even say much, too, when Quad was just like, I'm the prettiest bitch in here. She was just like, I use fillers. And I'm like, oh, God. Can't even...
Right.
You can't even
she
own
can't say
up.
anything.
Can't even own up to saying it. Like, okay. Simone is a flip-flopper. Curtis has ants in his pants. That's so awful! That is like
terrible.
No, like you already know
Jackie's
what
supposed to be her girl, yeah, and you're talking about her husband.
And you already know what they went through on the show, and then you're gonna say that shit about your close friend. Crazy. And also, the last thing that she ended off with was, Contessa should follow her heart, but if the man hasn't changed in 10 years, he's not gonna change, and she needs to make a change, and if she doesn't, then shut the fuck up about it.
Which I get, but it's like, you don't say that shit, like...
On YouTube to make money for likes and clicks.
Right? So it's kind of like... Contessa, yes, you were extremely fake, because according to the street and Heavenly, y'all were cool after she, like, posted these videos, but now you're switching up on her when filming starts. So I get that. That is fake. But at the same time, Heavenly, if these are your friends, I think there's a difference between, like, commentary on your show and going in on your friends, saying things like you really shouldn't be saying. Because a lot of people are defending Heavenly, like, oh, but Contessa put, like, some of the stuff out there, so why are you getting mad when she's speaking the truth? She's not even going in that hard on you. I'm like, but that's supposed to be her friend.
It doesn't even matter. Like, if she decided she wanted to put up that business, that's her business to tell. Why are you gonna go, like, and add on to it and add more fuel to the fire when she's already feeling shitty and she felt vulnerable enough to tell you? Like...
I also think it is important to mention, this is the same thing that they got mad at Toya about. They're like, oh, Toya went on IG Live and was dogging everyone out last season. Heavenly's been doing this for at least 5 years. They got mad at Mariah. That's they iced out Mariah was because they were saying, oh, you keep talking about us and shading us in your blogs. And at least Mariah would apologize.
Haven't seen an apology yet.
I didn't lie yet.
She's like, I didn't tell one lie. I was giving some good advice. I was like, what?
I'm like, that's what you took from that? But I feel like Heavenly was at that point where it's just like, no, y'all are not going to go do this to me. Because then her and Contessa get up and start screaming at each other. They're yelling. Toya's trying to jump in it. But other ladies want Toya to stay out of it. They go off into the hallway. They're screaming at each other. And word on the curb is, according to Heavenly, that Contessa actually brought her daughter into it to be like, oh yeah, see how you're affecting our family type of thing. I don't really, I think that's really messed up, and that I feel like that deserves like its own video. But based on what we saw, like they're going at it, and they basically don't come to any sort of resolution.
Nope.
Because Contessa brings her right back in. The one thing I will say is Toya wanted to go out into the hallway and kind of like help them break it up, because they were really like screaming at each other, and Jackie's like, nope, let them handle it. And I'm just like, okay.
I don't know how much.
I don't. Yeah, I'm like, there's nothing. They're not going to be able to fix this tonight. So they come back in. Contessa is still screaming. She's yelling. Heavenly is yelling, and then basically, Heavenly is saying like, if you really like had an issue with this, you should have called me. You should have reached out to me. Like, why didn't you reach out to me? And I'm just kind of like.
Meanwhile, like, but all your stuff is on YouTube. Like,
right.
You want to talk about this privately, but you're talking about it in public. Like, it just
I don't feel bad
at all. And then when Toya was even trying to talk to, like, say, you know, you're wrong for this, you're low down for this, and then Heavenly goes, oh, Eugene said you were the worst decision he ever made. I was like,
I will say, I think that was really messed up. But I'm also like, proud of Toya for not diving across that seat and choking Heavenly out. Because one thing Heavenly will always say is she can't fight, which is hilarious because she'd be so reckless at the mouth. So I feel like she must have a good lawyer. Because I'm surprised nobody's laid paws on her. I'm like, they must be afraid to get sued.
It would have had to be a fight. It would be my last
I am
season.
not one. Yeah, I'm not one for fighting on these shows, because I feel like the point is you come together and you argue for fun. Like, for our fun, not their fun. But I'm also like, I could have seen Toya diving over that chair and choking the hell out of Heavenly, because you will... I wish someone would. So my husband, not even my boyfriend, my husband, with whom I have multiple children with.
So that was the worst decision he ever made?
The way I would be the messiest person alive on that show. I would go find Heavenly's sister and bring her on the show. Let's talk about what Heavenly was like back in the day. I would bring Damon's ex-girlfriends. I would bring ex-business partners I would bring everyone onto the show, because what you gonna do? Bring my ex-business partner? You say I don't work, so what now? No, put me on one of these shows. I can be petty. I can give good TV. Anyway, sorry.
Well, no, basically that's like the gist. Like, yeah, they're yelling. Heavenly was trying to give a fake apology, but it wasn't working, obviously.
Nope.
And Heavenly just thought the whole thing was a joke and whatever, but I don't even know how much of that is really true. Like, I don't know how much she really thinks it's a joke. Like, cause she literally said, no, I gave good advice. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's basically the episode for the most part. Like, they didn't resolve anything. Everybody thought that this was a bad idea in the end. Like, of course, Anil is saying this was the wrong thing to do, and I'm just like, oh, you're only saying that because you were on screen too. But anyway.
Right. I thought it was kind of weird, like, after, like, Heavenly stormed out, how Jackie and Quad and Anila were trying to talk to Toy and Simone and them and try to tell them, like, oh, you know, like, this wasn't a good idea, like, you know, you knew this wasn't gonna work, and this and that. I'm just like, y'all sat and listened to all that, and that's what you took from this? Like, sure, of course it was not an effective idea. I don't think anyone really thought it was gonna work. But it was like, when Quad said in her confessional, like, this was not about getting through to Heavenly, this was about getting Heavenly. I'm like, I don't even feel like it was that. I think it was for everyone personally. Like, seeing, like, this is not just her coming after the people she doesn't like. This is her coming for everyone, every week, every season, and nobody, like, they let her get away with saying stuff in person, and now she's doing it online. Like, they've really created a monster with Heavenly, and she has excellent TV, like, excellent TV. But I also feel like to a point where, when are we going to say enough is enough? Because Heavenly clearly ain't afraid of getting her ass beat.
Nope.
She's clearly going to do it again. They even say that. They say that all the time. Like, even if she apologized, she's going to do it again. So she's not really going to learn, I feel like, until she gets iced out. And, like, the girls say enough is enough. And I honestly feel like it's not a really... I think Quad and Heavenly can fight and get back good. I think Anila's a flip-flopper. I think Jackie likes that Heavenly says things that she's thinking, but I think if either it gets too personal with Jackie or Jackie's reputation is affected, then Jackie will also jump ship. And I think that's going to be kind of the end, because right now it's kind of starting to be split. Before it was like maybe Toya and Simone versus everyone else. But now the Contessa switch sides, and if I think a couple other people switch sides, Heavenly may have to change her ways.
But will she? Is she even capable?
Great. Another great point. I don't know. But I look forward to finding out more. The next episode looks real good.
Right? With the party and all that. So, I guess we will see what happens then. So, you guys are going to have to stay tuned for that one.
We're going to see you again in a week.
Right? So, you know, just like the video, comment,
please
share, subscribe.
Everyone.
Let's talk about
Do a lot of that.
Because
I feel like there's so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about.
And we want to hear your thoughts.
Right? So on that note, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.